AITA for refusing to let my husband's mom nap in my room? My husband's mom moved in with us a week ago. The minute we were informed she was going to move in, temporarily till her house gets renovated, we've emptied a room specifically for her. It has everything. A bed with a frame, curtains, mounted TV, wardrobe, etc. She was thrilled with it and loved it a lot. One day I came home and found her in my bedroom sleeping in mine and my husband's bed. I was confused, but she told me she took a nap on the bed and lost track of time. Since then she started talking about how she loved the nap there and started hinting wanting to take naps in the bedroom from now on. I kept ignoring her comments till my husband sat me down and told me that his mom really liked and got used to napping in our bedroom and we should just let her have her daily afternoon nap in the room. I said absolutely not and we started debating. I told him his mom is being ridiculous because she has a whole room upstairs where she should nap. He got upset and said that I was making his mom feel uncomfortable and unwelcome with this attitude. I said no and refused to negotiate. He called me selfish and mean for saying no and preventing his mom from feeling comfortable at his house, but I reminded him that I pay full mortgage for the house while he blows money over gadgets and consoles. He accused me of bringing old disagreements in this current conflict to use against him. I said no again and that he should stop pushing because I need the room for when I get home feeling exhausted from working on my feet from 6 a.m. He's refusing to speak to me till I agree and let his mom have her nap in there. AITA for choosing this hill to die on, as he says? Am I being difficult? AITA for telling a fellow mother of a special needs child that my daughter is not responsible for her child? I have 2 children who we'll call Maria, 14 female, and David, 7 male. David is on the autism spectrum, he is non-vocal and requires a fair bit of specialized care. Since his birth, Maria has had to take on a partial caring role for David for a variety of reasons. I make sure that this is not to an extent where she is taking care of him. However, just enough so that she can help out while not losing out on her own life and experiences as a child. Unfortunately, this does not always work out as intended and sometimes Maria does have to step up when I and my husband fail. But I always make sure to make it up to her and reward her for the time she helps us out like I would a normally paid caretaker. This summer, I enrolled Maria in a summer art program. She had been looking forward to it for months and was ecstatic on the first day. This enthusiasm quickly turned sour and she stopped wanting to go after only the first 2 weeks. This was because Maria was essentially assigned to watch over a girl we'll call Helen. Helen is a girl who is also on the autism spectrum. I know Helen's mother personally, and when she learned that her daughter and mine were going to be in the same art classes over the summer, she asked the organizers personally to essentially assign Maria to be Helen's mandatory friend over the summer. Over the first 2 weeks, Maria was essentially burdened with Helen. She spent a good chunk of the class time helping Helen out with her own projects instead of being able to work on her own. She also at one point had to help one of the teachers out when Helen began to have an anxiety attack and did not get to do any art the entire day. When I learned of this, I was livid. I contacted the organizers of the art program and went off, demanding my money back and threatening to report them for having a student, and a minor at that, responsible for the care of a special needs child. They let it slip to me that Helen's mother told them that I and her were close friends, which is not the case. I called Helen's mother up as well and went off, demanding to know where she got the nerve to ruin my child's own experience and treat her like a caretaker for her own child. She claimed that Helen wanted to do the art program, but she was afraid that she would not be able to do it alone, that Maria had experience with special needs children and that she felt safe with her being next to Helen's side. She then yelled at me, called me a heartless asshole, and said that I should know where she was coming from. I got my money back Monday and am looking into private art tutoring options for Maria. When my husband learned what happened, he lost it. Said that I should be understanding of Helen's mother considering our own situation. So now I'm second-guessing myself. Edit. Just a quick clarification. My husband is not mad at me for pulling Maria from the class or being mad about her being used as a caretaker. He agrees that was wrong and is not happy about it. What he got mad about was me calling Helen's mom and confronting her. His point of being understanding to her was not about Maria being a caretaker for Helen. It was about Helen's mom asking in the first place. He does not agree with the way the class handled it at all, and he supports me in taking this issue all the way to the top. What he is mad about is dropping Helen's mom in and fighting with her personally. So, for the question at hand, involving Helen and TA. You're right, your daughter shouldn't have to look after someone if she doesn't want to. But, on that note, Maria does have to step up when I and my husband fail. Do better. Because I guarantee the biggest reason she's disappointed she couldn't do the art program is that she needed a break from parenting her brother and didn't get one. I get that you compensate her, but time is a finite resource she isn't going to get back. AITA for not reacting to my mother-in-law's antics anymore? I'm 25, female, and my wedding was last week. I'm currently on a road trip with my husband for our honeymoon, and this has been bugging me since the big scene at my wedding. Let me make this clear. MIL is a mother from hell. She hates me for the simple reason that no girl is good enough for her son and that I'm the witch who's stolen from her. She does not listen to my husband at all and believes I'm the evil witch who's corrupted him against her. While we were dating, she'd do a lot of crap to me to get a rise or reaction, usually negative from me, and at first I'd react exactly how she wanted, but eventually I got tired and just went along with her crap. Feeding me food I dislike, okay, I'll eat it. Lying about what day I was going dress shopping and not answering her calls anymore, check. Basically, she's gotten more and more unhinged and pissed off because I've stopped reacting, and my FIL and other in-laws have been telling me to stop my antics because MIL usually ends up taking it out on them. The straw that broke the dam happened at my wedding. I didn't have a traditional wedding, it was at a lakeside and the reception was an outdoor barbecue. I wore a red sundress because I like red and I was planning on swimming later. MIL showed up in a white dress that bordered on wedding dress, and when she found out that I was wearing a red sundress she got pissed. My brother and husband ended up having to drag her out of the lakeside and get my FIL to take her home due to the tantrum she threw. Anyway, she's been making life miserable for everyone back home and blaming me for it. My husband's on my side and supports how I react to his mother, but my other in-laws are telling me to stop being childish because they have to deal with the consequences of my actions with how MIL acts, and they're sick of my immaturity and to just do what MIL says. AITA for refusing to put my fiancé on the house title after he kept handing me empty pens as a prank? I, female, 34, have been with my fiancé, male, 37, for 3 years. Getting married before the end of this year, and recently moved in the house that I inherited from my mom. The house is in my name, and it took a lot of talking and convincing from him to have his name on the title as well. Now, honestly, part of me doesn't think this is a good idea, at least not right now, maybe after marriage? But anyway, I've decided to go ahead and put his name on the title so he could go ahead and start contributing towards the mortgage more and light my burden a little bit. We've made appointments, decided on which form of ownership we were basing this on. When it was time for me to sign the deed, my fiancé stopped me and gave me a pen, saying this pen was his lucky pen and told me to use it to sign the deed. I took it and tried to sign, but turned out it was empty. He was like, "Oh, I must have forgotten," while laughing, and then pulled out his other lucky pen. I took it, tried to sign, and that one too was empty. Honestly, seeing how he was laughing, I figured he was messing with me, but he swore he wasn't and pulled out another one of his lucky pens. I tried that one too, and it was empty. My fiancé started cackling, and I felt humiliated, especially with how the gentleman next to him was staring. I got pissed and asked him what that was about, and he said it was a prank. I asked, "Really? Did you really think this was a time for pranks?" He was like, "It's alright, you can use a real pen now." I pushed the paper away and said, "You know what? Never mind, because I no longer want you on the deed." He lost it completely, saying we had a deal and I can't back out of it just like that, and that it was a stupid joke that I took too seriously. We had an argument and I refused to sign the deed, at least not then and there. At home he blew up again, saying I was the one who delayed the process and that he already gave me a real pen and all I had to do was sign the damn paper and get it over with. He accused me of looking for an excuse not to have him on the deed and started the silent treatment, saying there's nothing to say till those papers are signed. Did I really take this too seriously? AITA for ruining my sister-in-law's honeymoon by exposing her racism? Throwaway account, although my sister-in-law will probably recognize the story anyway, so I don't know why I even bother. I don't think what I did was an move at all, but maybe the timing was a bit off, but no, I don't think I'm an full stop. My, female 27, sister-in-law, female 30, got married last weekend. She's my long-term boyfriend's, male 32, sister. They're white and I'm Middle Eastern. And a dark one with raven black hair. She was looking for a photographer that didn't bankrupt her, so I suggested a friend of mine who's new in business and charged less than half, because these things cost over 5,000 euros these days. She was excited and I set a group chat with her and my photographer friend. We talked a little and later they met and they started messaging directly to each other. The wedding was amazing and everything went smoothly. I was one of the guests and she seemed happy. The next day they went off to their honeymoon. I don't know if it was by mistake, but instead of texting the photographer directly like she's done for the past few months, she texted him to our old iMessage chat. She thanked him but had a favor to ask him and wondered whether he could retouch some asymmetry in the flower's archway. I'm sorry, I don't know the right terms in English, but also if he could take me off some photos because I'm too dark and ruined the color palette. Not all pictures. Just the ones she's in. I texted back, "Are you kidding me?" She didn't answer. I took a screenshot and posted it on my Insta story, tagging her in it. She called my BF, crying her eyes out, calling me an off for embarrassing her and ruining her honeymoon. BF thought it was a low blow. I was blinded with rage when I did it, but even now I'm calm. I still don't feel that I was an But people have been contacting her, apparently asking if she really wrote this. She's so beautiful and successful, so please don't blame it on jealousy or scare of being outshined. AITA for telling my husband he should be ashamed of himself and taking the girls and going home after he made them wait outside of the restaurant? I'm a mother of twins, 19 female. Their dad and I split up 6 years ago and I'm now, fixed it was not but I meant now, married to my husband Kevin. Problem is, Kevin thinks that my girls are not disciplined simply because they don't follow everything he tells them because they don't see him as their father. We've already talked about that. Especially the part where he expects them to dress how he wants them to, and behave how he wants them to. He even called them weirdos, but that's just how teenagers are and it's not a new thing. Anyways, I told him he needed to loosen up a little and lessen his expectations of them, but I get it's hard to do given he was brought up in a conservative household with hardcore Christian family. Last week, he started a fight after seeing one of the girls' hairstyle and said that she was looking trashy. Because of that we had to cancel our trip to the mall because he refused to drive us. A couple of days ago, we wanted to go out for dinner. I was intending on getting off work at 6 but had some stuff to get done. My husband and I agreed that he'd take the girls and go to the restaurant and wait for me there. He called me before they got out of the house to complain about what the girls were wearing. The girls sent me pics and I thought nothing was wrong with their outfits and told him to drop it and just go. He said fine, then muttered something about me enabling THRM, then hung up. While I was still at work I got a call from one of the girls telling me their stepdad had them stand and wait outside the restaurant because he didn't want to be seen with them dressing like that. I was stunned. I rushed to the restaurant and found them near the car. They explained he told them to wait in the car till he tell them to come in, basically wait for me. They started crying. I had them get in my car, then went inside the restaurant and found him on his phone. I went off on him and told him he should be ashamed of himself for treating my daughters like if there was something to be ashamed of. He tried backpedaling, saying it wasn't like that, but I interrupted him, then walked out after canceling dinner. We went home and he came back hours later trying to argue that I can't blame him for disapproving of what the girls' recklessness and that he tried communicating, but I shut him down and treated him as less of a parent when he's just wanting what's best for them. He doesn't speak to me or the girls anymore. Comment and share your thoughts below.